Heartbeat. Half-human half-vampire Seon Woo-hyeol, Taecyeon, desperately wishes to become completely human but misses his chance. As a result, he is also forced to move in with the mean and cold-blooded human, Joo In-hae. 1. Given the mutual dislike for each other, will sparks fly between the two opposites? Seon Woo-hyeol, Taecyeon, is half-human and half-vampire. He badly wants to become a complete human, but he missed his chance because of 1 day out of 100 years. He has a reason why he wants to become a human. Seon Woo-hyeol is an early adopter who must use something new and is a trendsetter. He happens to get involved with Joo In-hae, 1 Ji-in. She works as a contract nurse teacher and she runs a guest house. Due to her poor financial background, she went through numerous part-time jobs. She is known as a cold-hearted person by others. Circumstances lead Seon Woo-hyeol and Joo In-hae to share a house together. Their relationship develops romantically. What happens to Man-won? Hae-won gets a call from Man-won who breaks the news of Woo-hyeol's impending death. Secretary Ko tells Do-sik about Hae-won and her rumor spreading in the neighborhood. Ki-suk is insistent on protesting the vampire's presence. Woo-hyeol shows up and tries to convince her and Gwang-ok that he's not a monster. He then tells them he'll be leaving the mansion anyway, so they shouldn't bother other people about it. Hae-won storms into the mansion looking for Woo-hyeol, but only finds In-hae. She blames In-hae for his condition. In-hae in turn accuses Hae-won of making his life hard by telling everyone the truth. She leaves the mansion and comes across Woo-hyeol. She tells him to do whatever it takes to live. When Woo-hyeol goes inside, In-hae worries about what Hae-won told him, but he assures her that he isn't bothered by what other people say. Do-sik confronts Hae-won about everything she's done. Man-won arrives and reveals Do-sik's intentions of killing Woo-hyeol, to Hae-won's shock. Man-won's eyes turn blue and then red, as he grows angry at the other two. He attacks Hae-won but Do-sik intervenes and stabs him with the silver knife. Man-won dies and his body goes up in ashes. Do-sik tells Hae-won that this is what all vampires are like, even Woo-hyeol. Does Hae-won finally give up? The next day, Gwang-ok runs into Ki-suk's shop and tells her the news that the redevelopment is cancelled. They can't get through to Hae-won either. Just then, Taecyeon comes in and apologizes for all the trouble. He then describes Woo-hyeol and all the kind deeds he's done. Meanwhile, Woo-hyeol gives Dong-seop and Sang-hae all of his things. He gets a call from Hae-won and meets her. She informs him that she's leaving for the US and has come to say goodbye. She confesses she's jealous of what Woo-hyeol and In-hae have. He assures her she'll find the same one day. She then warns him about Do-sik's intentions before bidding him a final goodbye. Woo-hyeol then meets Do-sik at his office and asks him if he really needs the blood of a half-vampire. Later, as Woo-hyeol looks at the moon, Ko Young-nam comes to visit. He apologizes for everything again and says he's come to say goodbye. Woo-hyeol says he owes everything to Young-nam and thanks him. Young-nam admits that in all his 1,000 years, Woo-hyeol is the most humane vampire he's known. In-hae goes to see Woo-hyeol and tells him the guest house is running well. He tells her they should go on a trip. He says goodbye to his friends, who are tearful since they know he won't be coming back. They exchange words of gratitude and love as well as one last hug. Does Woo-hyeol live or die? In-hae and Woo-hyeol drive away. While walking on a beach, In-hae talks about all the things she would like to do with him. They chase each other in the water, draw in the sand and take photos of themselves. While watching a beautiful sunset, In-hae expresses regret at opening the coffin 1 day too soon. But Woo-hyeol is more grateful to have met and been in love with her. She thanks him for teaching her how to love. They exchange I love yous and then kiss. All of a sudden, Woo-hyeol grows weak and In-hae insists that he rest. While he's deep asleep, she puts a few drops of her blood onto his lips. He wakes up with a start, having dreamt about his time with Hae-sun and In-hae. He sees In-hae sleeping by him and realizes that she is Hae-sun's reincarnation after all. While In-hae sleeps, Woo-hyeol bids her goodbye and leaves the house. He cries and apologizes for not being able to stick to his promise. While he stands by the water, Doo-sik appears. Turns out, Woo-hyeol told Doo-sik that he would die on the day of the blood moon. He's happy for Doo-sik to use his blood to break the curse on his bloodline. He just wants In-hae to be happy and surrounded by people who love her. In-hae is unaware about all of this. At present, he tells Doo-sik once again to take care of In-hae. Doo-sik finally admits that Woo-hyeol is a good man. He is about to stab Woo-hyeol when In-hae shouts out, having come out of the lodge they were staying at. Before she can do anything, Woo-hyeol grabs the knife and stabs himself. He tells In-hae he wishes he could be with her for a long time. He tells her they'll meet again and this time, he'll be the one to find her. His head falls back and his scar disappears as he passes away. How does Heartbeat end? Back at the mansion, the whole group conducts a eulogy for Woo-hyeol as his body is kept in a coffin. Everybody says a few words for Woo-hyeol and we get a flashback of the moments between him and In-hae. Sometime later, Yeon-nam visits In-hae and tells her he has something to give her from Woo-hyeol. He gives her a chest filled with gold. Turns out, Yeon-nam had kept the gold safe away from the neighbors. He, in fact, told Woo-hyeol in the beginning itself, but Woo-hyeol didn't want to know where it is. He needed the excuse of paying In-hae back so he could keep staying with her. Meanwhile, Dong-seop starts a retro-style takoyaki shop which is a raging success, thanks to the gold Woo-hyeol left for his friends. Dong-seop warns Sang-hae to not spend all of his. Doo-sik is doing well and even uses his money to help children suffering from heart disease. He even describes Woo-hyeol as his inspiration to help others. In-hae's guest house is flourishing and she seems to be doing well. She even hosts a party at the guest house for the whole neighborhood. So-hye comes by as well. Dong-ael, too, helps out with the festivities. In-hae looks over at everybody from the first floor landing, happy that the shaded oasis is blooming as Woo-hyeol always wanted. She then goes down to the basement, which has been kept as it always was. She muses about how she's waiting for the one she loves, just like he was. When she goes back out, she sees Woo-hyeol standing on the landing looking at her and smiling.